everybody, it's me and I am here to do the 1500 subs Q&A that I put up a video for about a week ago or so. So I left you guys a week to leave your questions. I got quite a few to answer, so I'll probably leave a few videos for these, like 2 or 3. I will put whose question I answered in the description so you guys can look to see which video your specific question is in if you're not interested in watching the rest of the videos, which is, you know, totally fine. I'll try not to make these too long, and I'm not fancy when I do these. I basically just sit here and talk. So I'm not particularly super interesting or anything, so this might be a better video to actually just kind of like minimize and just listen to instead of watching, because I'm just going to be talking. I also have the questions up on my screen, so instead of looking like directly at you, I'll probably be looking over this way to read the questions. So I guess that's it. So I will get started, and I'm looking really forward to answering your questions. So first 2 questions come from a user, and I'm totally going to bung up some of these usernames, so I'm really sorry. Like I said, I'll put them in the description, so if I totally fuck it up, then you can yell at me. Anyway, so LeeWadiun is how I want to pronounce that. He or she asks me who my favorite Pokemon gym leader is. So, the thing about me and Pokemon is that since I got to YouTube, I just kind of got sick of Pokemon. It's so overexposed, and I just really got sick of it. So, I never played Pokemon past the 4th gen. I only played up to Diamond. So, I haven't played Soul Silver, Heart Gold, Black, or White. So, I don't know anything about the 5th gen. So, I can't really say anything about that. I would say that one of my favorite gym leaders would be Volkner, I guess is how you pronounce it. Not Falconer, which I think is another bird gym leader, but Falconer, who is in Diamond and Pearl, 4th gen. He is the electric gym, I do believe, in Sunny Shore or Sunnyside City. It's been so long since I've played Pokemon. But he's one of the last gym leaders you beat in that game before going to the Elite Four. He's a pretty cool guy. I like him, and I would have to say, even though he's not technically a gym leader, so I guess this is like kind of cheating, I would say Lance. Lance is a pretty friggin' cool guy. The thing about Lance is, I don't know, you can just make fun of him. Like, I just can't take the guy seriously. He looks just so strange, and the way he talks just makes me kind of laugh. I don't know, he's kind of a cool guy because you can kind of poke fun at him. The problem with gym leaders is that they don't really have much of a role in the game, in my opinion. They kind of just go beat this gym leader, thanks for my badge, I'm going to go beat the next guy. So I guess I have a really hard time like loving a gym leader because I just don't feel I get to know them well enough. And I kind of just grew out of Pokemon, I guess, as well. I don't have much interest in it anymore as I've gotten older, so I haven't really gone back and played a lot of Pokemon games and really looked at characters and things to see which one was really great. And I don't watch anime, so I haven't watched Pokemon anime because I'm sure a lot of the gym leaders make an appearance in the anime as well. So I guess that hopefully answers your question a little bit. And their second question is, what Zelda item do you think would be the most useful in real life? So I don't really know about most useful. That's really debatable because I feel like most Zelda items are something that most people do not carry around or wouldn't use. Something like a bow and arrow I think would be useful for hunting, granted you knew how to use it. Most people in this day and age don't hunt. We can just go to the grocery store and buy our food. So I don't really know what would be most useful. I would say, because it's also one of my favorite Zelda items, claw shot / double claw shot / hook shot I think would be really cool. You could, of course, catapult yourself up or shoot yourself up to higher areas or across places that were blocked off. So I think that would be pretty useful, arguably, depending on the situation. I would love to have a claw shot. I would love to have a boomerang. I would love to have a slingshot. I mean, Zelda items are just so damn cool. So yeah, definitely claw shot and boomerang are like my 2 favorite Zelda items, and I've only really played like new gen Zelda games. I've only really played like ones, like I think I've played Seasons, I think would probably be one of the older ones I've played. So I haven't really played older Zelda games, so I can't really say anything about those, although I'm sure there's some pretty useful items in older Zeldas like Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and things like that. I would say a lot of masks in Majora's Mask would be useful, which I guess technically counts as an item. Like the all-night mask, for example, would be really useful. You could stay up all night with like no consequences at all. But I guess it doesn't really technically count as an item, so I'm not even going to get into the whole masks thing because I'm sure I would rant about that a whole hell of a lot. So thank you for your questions, and you're welcome for the help on Lost Odyssey. I'm glad I could help. So next question comes from Stormy Lilac 93. Hope that's how you pronounce that. And their question is, what is my favorite monster in Dragon Warrior Monsters for the Game Boy Color? So I did a Let's Play of Dragon Warrior Monsters Terra's Adventure, which was the female counterpart to Colby's Journey, which is like the male version, on my channel quite a while ago now, come to think of it. So I can't really pick one favorite monster because there are over, I want to say there's over 500 combinations of different monsters, and I don't even think I scratched the surface of how many monsters there was in that game. So it's really difficult for me to say, first of all, because I'm ignorant of like half of the half of the monsters, excuse me, that I could have made. And I just feel that each of them are so specialized and like unique because you breed and they all have different stats and stuff. That's really hard to just choose one. So again, I'm just gonna kind of cheat on this question a little bit. And I would say my two favorite classes would be the undead. Undead monsters, if they're bred right, are like unstoppable and are awesome. They look awesome, they have awesome stats, and they're just a really great addition to the team. And also dragon monsters. The dragon class is absolutely badass. They look cool, and a lot of dragon monsters in that game just really take the cake for a lot of awesome stats and just aesthetically pleasing and things like that. So those two classes, because they're overpowered and they are just really awesome and really helps you form a strategy. So hope that kind of helped. Some of these questions I can't answer like exactly because they're just kind of too, I guess, broad, or they're too specific to the point where I need to make it a little more open. So I also have these up on my screen. I brought my laptop downstairs, so I'll need to kind of click around to scroll through the video. So hopefully that won't be too distracting. So next questions come from MechaDialga. And their first question was asking me if I would ever do something like Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age 2 when I actually had like a slot opened up and I could go ahead and I could like put a lot of time into something that big. And the problem with games like Dragon Age and Skyrim and Oblivion and things that are like open world and is just that it's just too much for me. It's too much to the point where I would want to show off everything I possibly could, and it would be like 200 parts, 300 parts, and I wouldn't know where to stop. I wouldn't feel there was like a really good stopping point, and it would just take up a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I feel like it would just be like really long and drawn out and like kind of boring. So I feel like those games would be something that I would either do like a very specific DLC. For example, Dragon Age Origins, the first game, I bought it like last year, so I bought it like really late compared to most people. So when I bought it, I actually got like everything. I got Dragon Age, I got Dragon Age Awakening, I think is the other larger DLC. I also got like LeeWadiun's song, the other one where you can play as the opposite army. I'm drawing a blank, but either way, so I have a crap ton of DLC, so I think the more likely thing would be for me to do a very specific DLC. LeeWadiun's song, for example, is a very short DLC, and it still has like the same mechanics as the actual game Dragon Age Origins. So that would be more likely. As for the actual games themselves, most likely not. However, I wouldn't be totally opposed to streaming them. I can actually stream with my Hapog. I haven't tried it because I've heard it's a little complicated to kind of do at the same time as like doing commentary on a stream that's live. So I haven't tried it, but I feel like I would either A, have to shorten it up or only show certain things or something, or I would have to do it in stream. So I hope that answers your question. And the second question they have is, how do I record like face cam, which is basically how I'm recording this Q&A, any update videos I do, anything I do on my vlog channel, like anything where I actually like show my face. So how I record these is I actually am on a laptop, so I just use my built-in laptop camera. I'm really fortunate that mine is actually really quite good in my opinion. It adjusts to lighting really well. It's got some really good like custom settings that I can fix if I want to adjust lighting or sharpness or brightness or whatever it is I want to fix. It also picks up sound pretty good, which I'm always really happy about, and it saves files in a relatively small file size. Excuse me. So when I upload these, they're not like 500 megabytes and they don't take a million years to upload. So yeah, so that's what I use. I just use my built-in webcam. I have an HP computer, so I can't really, you know, give you an exact like brand or I should say exact make. I just told you the brand. So yeah, I don't have any sort of fancy like HD webcam that I bought separately to attach to my computer. And I have a good digital camera, but I usually only use those for photos. So I don't really use that for these. So thank you for your questions, and I guess the last couple ones I will squeeze into this video because I really don't want these to get too long, is from HyrulenRuler. And their first question is, will I ever do a Let's Play of Super Mario 64? Probably not. I remember playing that game when I was younger. It was one of the games I had for the Nintendo 64, which is, by the way, the system that I grew up on, just because of my age and when it came out and everything. So I grew up on the Nintendo 64. I spent a lot of my childhood playing that game, that system and that game. And I remember just being frustrated all the time because I could only get like all the easy stars. I don't think I could ever get past 50 stars in that game, which I know is like really pathetic. But I never beat that game. And when it got to like later levels, I just didn't bother. I just said, I am done. I can't do this. I suck. Platformers and we're not friends. We don't really get along. I mean, I try. We kind of go back and forth. But overall, I'm just trying to stick to what I know, which is, you know, more like RPG kind of genre. Like, that's more my thing. So I wouldn't do it as a Let's Play. I would maybe do it, like, in a stream if I didn't really have any ideas and I had the game on me. Or I would do it as, like, a special, like, maybe I do another, like something what I did for the 100 subs, which is just you guys give me a game, I play it for a video just to try it out. Something like that I would do it for, but not a full Let's Play just because it's really out of my comfort zone and I don't feel that I would be able to play the game adequately enough. So thank you for that. And the second question is, what is my cat's name? So I showed you guys my cat in the video that I made to actually announce the 1500 subs. My cat's name is Jessie. He's actually my mom's cat. My cat has lived with my mom longer than I've lived with my mom, so my cat is like my mom's child. She loves him to death, and he's really old. He's like 17 years in human years, which makes him like ancient in cat years. So he is like blind, deaf. And I really think he's going to pass away soon, which makes me sad because I love him. I think he's upstairs sleeping. I would really like to show him off just to get a better look at him because a few of you asked a few questions about him, but I don't really want to wake him up because he's old and, you know, old people like to sleep. So if he manages to come downstairs for food, because I'm actually in the kitchen, I will quickly grab him and give him a little bit of FaceTime. But yeah, my cat's name is Jessie, and he's been my family cat for pretty much my entire life. So, yeah. Alright, I'm going to stop it here. I still have lots of your questions to answer. Try to keep this under 15 minutes. Hopefully I don't get too carried away. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.